Hey guys. What, you thought it was going to be a fucking normal fucking intro? Fucking, you know what yesterday was? April fucking Fools, which also means that people now know we record like ages in advance.
Every episode on the We Talk podcast is April Fools because this whole thing is just a massive joke.
I shouldn't. Oh no, I shouldn't say that.
No.
I live in Mount Martha. Sorry.
A little beach town, pretty straightforward.
Did they film? What's that show? What's the one with the kids and they're fucking all the time? And it was a TV Puberty Blues. Did they film that there? Surely.
That was filmed in like near where you live, mate. That's like Sydney.
Was it really?
That's like Western Sydney. I think so. Yeah, That's not Victoria.
All I remember was the hot brunette girl. That's all I remember.
Oh my god!
Did you ever watch Puberty Blues?
My brother liked it.
Did he?
He didn't watch it when it aired, but he's like, "Oh, I watched that show recently. It's actually really well made." I'm like, I can't deal with Aussie shows. They're not for me. My mum was watching Secret Life of Us recently, and she's talking to me about that.
It's okay.
I don't like the Aussie-ness of it. I don't know what it is. It's like whenever they're talking about their lives and going, Dave's going to do this and he's having a rough old time. And, you know, it's like, it doesn't, you can tell that you can feel the awkwardness of someone from another country trying to watch it and relate. Like they can't. It's not, it's so Aussified that someone else trying to watch it would just be like, eh.
No, I get that. Also,
it's not, yeah.
Also, welcome back to the We Talk podcast. I am your host, Matthew Winter. This is Sam Davis.
I'm your co-host, Sam.
But to continue with that, like, that's why Neighbours, one of the greatest, I was about to say sitcoms, wasn't a sitcom, soap operas of Australian history, really only lasted as long because all the British people liked it, so they picked it up for their channels. British. The Brit love some Neighbours. You want to watch Neighbours tonight? Or let's watch that Paul Robinson push somebody off a roof or something. Remember Paul Robinson? I don't remember. I just remember.
He was evil, Paul. But isn't the whole British like, weren't they were in love with their soap operas anyway? Like Coronation Street.
Oh yeah, it's like the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the same thing overseas. But I don't know, because I like a lot of British stuff. Like I've wanted to sort of like, especially like some of their comedy shows, like the It Crowd. The It Crowd's really good. And specifically, like a lot of their like panel shows.
The RT Crowd.
What did I say? The Crowd. April Fools. You thought I could
No. The whole time was the It Crowd for you.
Stop.
We're staying on this.
No, they're fucking...
It's the IT
Crowd. They're an IT fucking company, cunt. Of course I know that.
They're definitely not in the It Crowd. That's the whole point of the show.
And then there's like the British panel shows and all that. And you know, fuck you, no, I fucking hate your guts.
No. I've embarrassed you in the early stages.
I've had a long day.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, fair enough.
I had a long day at work.
How was work? Tell us about your day at work. We never do that on the podcast.
Okay, here was my day at work. So I got up and I made some cereal and a mocha and I sat down and I didn't go to work and I played games and watched WrestleMania Night 1. Suck my dick, Sam. No, yeah, I took 2 days off to watch WrestleMania.
I'll never feel sympathy again. No, that's all right. WrestleMania.
Do you want to hear about some WrestleMania? Logan Paul.
I do actually.
Logan Paul fought one of my favorite wrestlers, Seth Rollins, in his 5th ever match ever, and from a wrestling fan's perspective, did a really good job. Ever. Fifth match like ever. Like he's done like a fuckload of training with like some of the best wrestlers in the world. But yes, his 5th match ever, and he actually did, from a wrestling fan's perspective, a fucking good job.
Well, it's not that hard to do a good job when it's staged from the outset, but that's fine.
Are we going to start this fucking debate?
I have a mad respect for wrestling. I'm a huge Jerry Lawler fan, so
Jerry Lawler, all he would go is when there's girls on the screen, like coming to the ring, he'd go puppies because their fucking titties are out, and then he had a stroke.
But he did the whole thing with Andy Kaufman, the massive ruse. That was great.
They actually inducted Andy Kaufman into the Hall of Fame.
Finally,
I know.
Finally, and it took them like 1,000 years.
Yeah, I know. Agreed. 100%. They fucking inducted they inducted somebody who was like, who didn't deserve to be in there. I can't remember who it was. I'm not getting into it. But the other thing I was going to say, the best part of Logan Paul's match was, here's the scene.
Sorry.
You would have seen that Logan Paul, remember how he did the big splash from the top rope to like on the table, the announce table that he did to...
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever see the clip? It was all over his social media. It was everywhere.
Oh,
and he filmed it like
I definitely saw it.
He did it like on his phone, and he jumped from the top rope and did actually like a really good like diving top rope splash. And he held the phone the whole fucking time. So he did. It was actually like just impressive from that point. Anyway, at the start of the match when Logan came down to the ring, and he had his selfie stick and whatever, there was a big prime bottle, a man in a prime bottle walking around ringside. You're like, okay, where the fuck is this going to go? So then towards the end of the match, Logan Paul's on the top rope. And this is after sort of the prime bottle guy got involved. There's Seth Rollins laying on the announce table. And, Logan Paul's up there. He's got his selfie stick again. And he's going to... Actually, no, he had a bottle of water. And when he took a sip of the water, and he's about to spit it out, Seth Rollins on the table grabs the prime bottle, and he pulls the prime bottle onto the table, and Logan Paul frog splashes the guy in the prime bottle suit, and the table breaks. And do you know who was in that suit?
Who?
Fucking KSI.
Oh, I never would have guessed. Oh man.
Why do you sound so unimpressed when I talk about wrestling?
Would have been in the suit.
Come on.
Don't sound unimpressed. Nah, I understand your interest in wrestling. I'm interested in pointless stuff too.
I fucking hate you so fucking much. No, but it was actually, you know what? For somebody who's never taken a bump, he actually did a fucking good job. But it was pretty cool. It was a funny reveal. It was entertaining. It was a very entertaining match. And seeing KSI get fucking...
Well, if he entertained you, good on him.
What are you trying to say? What? A tard like me? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I mean, that's a good thing.
He did a good job.
Entertained you, that's good on him. That's good.
You know what? Fuck you, Sam. Do you know what? Do you know what type of wrestling I think you'd like? You would love Japanese deathmatch wrestling, where it's Japanese
I like
guys.
Andy Kaufman wrestling all women.
That's not real. Men don't wrestle women.
Andy Kaufman wrestled like 50 women and won
every
single time.
You know that that's good, isn't it? Like that's a good gimmick.
It is a good gimmick. It's great. It's like, well, people thought he was legit, obviously, because there's a lot of wrestling fans that are, how do I put this? Lower on the IQ scale back then, maybe, and not pointing. Yeah,
no, but back then, it was kayfabe. So the whole thing about kayfabe was they wouldn't reveal, the wrestlers would the good guys would not hang out with the bad guys even outside of the shows. Like they had to make it seem real. That's what they did.
Oh, wow.
That was the industry until the 80s where Vince McMahon said, "Oh yeah, it's not real." Because do you know why? Do you know why he did it? Vince McMahon revealed that wrestling was fake when for years and years, the industry was, hey, this is real. Because he didn't want to pay, I think it was the fees in regards to the sports commissioning governing body, because they said it was a sport. And he's like, oh, no, it's not actually a sport. It's actually entertainment, because he didn't want to pay the money, which is fair. It changed the industry forever.
Good on him. It probably made it more popular. Vince McMahon... he's an intelligent man. He knows. I'm gonna guess that you don't know about him paying millions of dollars to a woman, and had an affair with her. I didn't know. Oh, I have actually heard about that once, but it escaped my memory. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have said that. A great quote from AFL, the AFL Grand Final, was Dennis Committee going, "Geez, not even Vince McMahon could make this game predictable." One of the best grand finals.
That's a good quote. You promised me that if I didn't talk about wrestling on the podcast, you wouldn't talk about AFL.
Oh, but I've got too many not to talk about. My favorite shows that you're not interested in.
Name one show. Name one show that you think that I wouldn't be interested in. I'll tell you if I'm not.
Big Brother Friday Night Live.
I love Friday Night Live. It's my favorite show. However, the After Dark stuff is better.
Would you watch episodes back?
Yeah, I'd watch episodes back.
Sorry, I talked over you. What do you think would be better than Friday Night Live?
After Dark, where you'd possibly see boobies.
You mean Big Brother Uncut?
That's what I said. I like to watch Big Brother Uncut, where I was like 9 years old and go, ooh, are there going to be boobies on the TV on late nights after 10 o'clock? There could be boobies. There was never any boobies.
You were probably watching Big Brother up late. That's probably what you're trying to say. The one where Mike Goldman makes an ass of himself every night on that couch and just goes nuts and tries to get people to call in and pay a bunch of money and scam. Pretty much.
Imagine if like, I feel like Big Brother would be the show that if it was like around now, if it was around now.
My God.
And if it was around now, they would be the sort of guys like just like shilling crypto. Like all over the show. Absolutely. And like people would be like getting tattoos of it and like trying to shill it to people like in the house as well.
They'd have so many like different and more creative ways to scam people than just getting them to call in phone numbers like they used to do. I don't know if you were watching TV back when it was pop. You're a few years older than me, so you probably remember it a lot more than I do. But they'd have all these phone number things in the ad breaks. If you're watching Channel 10, you couldn't escape Big Brother because every commercial break, didn't matter if you were watching Big Brother or not, would be a promotion of Mike Goldman on TV saying, hey, call this number and enter your unique bid to win this shitty prize of like a flat screen TV valued at $500. And there'd be literally every single ad break this sort of shit. And that's a product of its time though. I think shows like that, like they wouldn't succeed today, and I think people would complain. Well, not people would complain, but there's no one there to watch to call in and actually enter those competitions anymore. Like you remember up late game shows where late at night there'd be some girl trying to entertain people, entertain the viewers. Like ring in who was the master of Daniel LaRusso in The Karate Kid, and then someone would call in and be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and she'd be like it's. But like I guess that sort of thing's been replaced very popular by like Twitch streamers. A lot of Twitch streamers do. Oh, simping, yes, for Pokemon. That's right. Do you know what I mean? Like there's similar sort of things. That's the thing. A lot of streamers, like they just take old ideas that were used, on TV shows years ago. Yeah. Correct. And they just do that. Like this. But that's fair enough. But you got to. Nothing's original. Nothing is original at all. This podcast, this is just like... hey, I like, oh fuck, I don't even know. This is just like, if I'm going to be honest. What was your setup based on? Because my setup was based on yours. What was your setup based on? My setup was based on, I don't really have much money. I want a minimal set. What am I going to do? Photos. It reminds me of Ethan and Healer's reaction show they did in 2016 where they had that brick wall set up behind them in the front on camera. So I'm Ethan and you're Eela. Yeah, sure, I'll be Eela. That's better than being Ethan. I can do the chin. Oh, maybe it's not. I can do the chin. If you're watching on the video version. Oh, God. Gross. Don't watch any of my old videos. I quote Ethan in all of them. I will say, though, like this sort of like table mic setup, and it's basic as fuck, because I always wanted to be we've actually had conversations about this really, really, really early on when we started talking during our honeymoon phase. We were talking about like multiple cameras, all this sort of stuff. This setup was inspired by like H3 and the H3 podcast, like their second iteration, because originally it was multi-camera. But actually, when I think about it, that was actually originally inspired. This itself was when Ray William Johnson had a podcast with his then girlfriend, and it was basically this, just a table, simple background, headphones, and a very handsome host, which is me. I love Ray William Johnson. Ray Williams Johnstone. Do you remember him? Did you watch his podcast with Logan Paul? That was really interesting to hear some of his life stories. I didn't watch his content back in the day. You'd be out of it. He doesn't make many public appearances. You wouldn't have been there during like the peak of it though. Nah, I wouldn't have. Because I remember the one with Robin Williams. I do, with Rob. What do you mean with Robin Williams? What, he did a video with him? Yeah, he spent like 10 minutes talking to Robin Williams, and he met Ray William Johnson, of course. And Robin Williams said to him, he's like, dude, I really respect what you're doing. I really like where you're going with your career. And Ray William Johnson said in the Logan Paul podcast, he's like, I literally, dude, I came. Yeah, it's like his greatest inspiration, his favorite, person from growing up. Said that about him, and he's in the video. He's in one of Ray William Johnson's videos, just like opening a door and reacting to one of the videos that Ray reacted to. And even like 10 seconds of Robin Williams just off the cuff is like better than that entire channel. Oh, sorry, Ray. I like you as a person,
well,
mate.
the thing is, you look at him now, like Ray William Johnson is still making content and Robin Williams is dead. So I guess we know who... Actually,
that's not a good joke because everyone loves Robin Williams.
I love Robin Williams too.
Usually hates Ray William Johnson.
No, what the fuck? I hate Robin Williams. I love Ray Williams Johnson.
You're probably the only person that hates Robin Williams. In fact, you know what? Maybe you're cool for hating Robin Williams.
He played the genie, didn't he, in Aladdin?
And Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, you know what? He was shitting all of them. No, he was I actually really like Mrs. Doubtfire. Good movie.
Mrs. Doubtfire is a classic.
It's a classic.
Great film.
Do you know what's also a classic? Cannibal Holocaust. Great movie. They actually have you ever watched that?
No, I refuse to watch that.
It's
movie.
good.
They use they use real dead animals.
No, they don't. I was
just
about to say that. No. They thought they did, but they didn't. And also, they thought they put actual real people on spikes, and they didn't.
Cannibals, yeah.
Hence the term.
Killed people on the film, but. Poltergeist used real human skeletons in that scene where she's in the pit of mud and she's like all scared and she looks around and she sees the skeleton. She's like, ah! And then afterwards they're like, look, that was real. Steven Spielberg just turned around to her and was like, they were all real skeletons. We weren't. And she's just like, she said in an interview, it's like, if I had known they were real skeletons. Because it's like late at night, it's pouring rain. It's like a horrible shoot. She's freezing cold probably for hours and hours trying to get that shot. And she's got to do that over and over, her turning around at a skeleton. And they're all real human skeletons. And it's like, that movie, I tell you what, I don't think the curse exists. That's stupid. Curses don't exist. But there's a lot of tragedies surrounding the Poltergeist series. I don't know if you know about this.
I don't.
Or not.
Tell me.
Dominique Dunn played... I don't know who she played on Poltergeist. I haven't actually seen the movie. But she was like killed by a boyfriend.
You know all the trivia.
I know, but I haven't seen the movie. She was killed by a boyfriend a year afterwards in like a driveway on like a residential street. He got off with 3 years prison for that. Craziest thing I've ever seen with murder, and he's like a famous person. And Heather O'Rourke, the little girl in Poltergeist who goes, "They're here." She died during the filming of the third Poltergeist movie when she was like 12.
How?
She just had a bad heart, hereditary disease.
Shit.
And everyone comes up with the Poltergeist curse, or I don't know if you've heard about the Omen curse. It's like people dying during the filming of a movie that's related to religious things or related to the occult, or like a house being built on an Indian burial ground. Like people think it's actually like real life, the curse of like, don't talk about this in a movie or you'll get cursed. It's just heaps of movies have the actors that have been on it that died. Like that's a common occurrence, especially
it's not a common occurrence, but it's like it.
Well, it's no,
I know you're saying.
Especially not on my sets. My sets have never had any of the actors from my little movies mysteriously go missing afterwards.
That sounded very, very suspicious.
What are you talking about? I'm not trying to raise some suspicions on this. We're having a good, fun little chat on the podcast. Yeah.
That's your one terrible bit for the podcast. It wasn't even that bad. But it's sort of like the whole thing. You know how like it's like who's the guy from Nirvana? Fucking the lead singer. I was about to say Jeff Goldblum, but it's not Jeff Goldblum. What's his name? Nirvana. Nirvana lead singer. I
don't know his name. So
are you kidding? It's fucking Kurt Cobain.
Oh, why am I thinking of the Foo Fighters guy that passed away recently in 2022? When you said Nirvana, because it's Dave Grohl was in both bands, correct. I'm thinking the Foo Fighters guy that died recently. Oh my God. Sam, come on, mate.
Well, what I was going to say was, they say, all these famous people die at the age of 27, and it's the 27 Club.
Yeah, like that's right. There's not many in the 27 Club, though.
Oh, yeah, but there's quite a few. You could make
the 22 Club, the 24 Club, the 23 Club.
Yeah, but it's okay. But if you look at if you use the credible source of Wikipedia, It's okay. It says, although the claim of a statistical spike for the death of the musicians at that age has been refuted by scientific research, it remains a cultural phenomenon. So, like, obviously it's not, but it's still like a thing that people back in the 90s talked about. Because, if you have a look through, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, a lot of people that I don't really know, Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was an artist. Kurt Cobain, Stretch, the rapper Stretch, he was murdered.
I've never heard of the rapper Stretch. No,
you have now. Shot, the rapper Shot. Kim Jong-un, he was a Kim Jong-un. Sorry,
he was so many people related to the music industry, and then Kim Jong-un.
No, but like his name's Kim Jong-hyun, and he's a South Korean singer-songwriter.
Oh,
not Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-hyun, commonly known as Jong-hyun.
The family of the...
No, are you fucking kidding? Kim Jong-un is like fucking like 96 years old or some shit. Or like 50, I don't know, something close to that.
Very close to 96.
Close enough.
Very, very close.
Close enough.
Oh,
we're coming about halfway through the podcast, and you know what? I could insert it as an ad, but I'm going to do it right now. Omni.plus. Do you want to listen to our after show? Do you want to help support us? Do you want... I've got some video ideas that I actually want to do now.
We've got stuff that's actually being filmed soon. Regular content only on the paywall. You can't get it anywhere else. It's the only place you can get it.
That's not what we're doing. You know that. Subscribe to Omni.plus. After show every week. Support the boys. Fuck. Next time, I am not letting you get involved with any plug for any...
Because I just ruin it. No one ever goes to...
Because there's gonna be stuff behind a paywall. Subscribe.
Listen, mate.
That's you.
Listen, mate. I'm actually bringing in some of the people...
Are you?
...to that paywall.
Name one.
Maybe a few would click on it because of my ad reads, like last week when I said, and it only costs $1 million.
You know what? Actually, you know what? Fuck you. Give me an actual ad read. You know what? You got 30 seconds. Give me an ad read and action.
Guys, Ennui Talk is announcing their brand new Ennui.plus. It's an amazing way for you to watch the content from Ennui.
So you've just lied.
It's not pronounced Ennui as most people think it is.
You've already lied to our people, so they're not going to take you seriously now. So keep going, I guess. Fuck me, cunt.
Take two. And it's a fantastic service where you can watch a bunch of pointless things.
Okay, you're done. I'm moving on because you do not know how to cut an ad. Also, your movie voice, I bet you're going to look back on that clip in like 2 years and go, fuck.
In a world of Ennui.media, one man, Matthew Winter, will unearth the content of 2023.
That actually wasn't that bad. I can do a movie voice. Thanks. Ready? In a world where one man, one hammer, against his balls. I don't know. I've got nothing. I'm just spitting the shit.
Why'd you put it on so hard? You could have just used your
normal voice. I can't do voice. I can't do
far better.
In a world where Michael
the retention.
Michael Jackson.
Just the bar that just
have you seen there was a TikTok trend, and it was something about have you seen that Chris where Chris Rock slaps Chris Rock in the penis? And that's the meme, and it has like hundreds of thousands of views.
TikTok, I think the average age of TikTok's just gone lower and lower every year to now like fetus watches TikTok.
So I downloaded the app again because I'm uploading clips to there again. And so I downloaded the app dry. What dry? Why did I say dry? But have you ever used TikTok before?
Yeah, I've used it a little bit.
But when you download it, it's like it actually goes to a feed and then you can make an account, but you can like just have the app and not have an account and just scroll. The first I download the app, I open it, and it's like two underage girls like dancing in their like school toilets short as dresses, turn around, and I'm like, what the fuck? I log in to the Ennui Radio TikTok account. The next video is not underage girls. No, not what you're thinking. It is, hey guys, I'm just going to share my day in the life as an accountant. Accountant meaning OnlyFans star. What the fuck are people actually watching on this fucking platform?
What the fuck are you watching is more
No.
like it. Why are this all go?
I don't
go to you?
I purely use my Ennui accounts and even my personal account. My personal TikTok account is to follow.
I don't want to see the
listen,
personal.
is to follow because I don't use it. Was to follow YouTubers and celebrities and specific stuff, and I go to my follow tab. The Ennui account is for specifically more like brand stuff that I want to follow, and then the Ennui Radio account is podcasts specifically because I want to see what they're doing and see what I can do better.
You did a poor job at explaining yourself, but yeah, no, sure.
It's like
sure.
that clip.
I think
it's like that clip from that comedian, and he's talking about like, oh, you're a pedophile, and it's like, well, actually, technically, a pedophile is when you're attracted to girls between this age and this age. Technically, if you like a girl who's like 17, 16, 17, it's like a hebephile. But if you say stuff like that, you sound like a pedophile, and it's that sort of.
It's always when people start using words like technically this is this way. It's like you give me red flags. I think Google has recorded you saying our fans are the kids, and that's what you call them. And it's just and then it's gone through TikTok. It's gone through all of them, and now you're just being recommended the kids, your fan base. For Ennui.
Speaking of kids, great movie. Have you heard of it? No, legitimately. So
I've seen the Harmony Korine on Letterman, and apparently he got banned from Letterman because he's just a psycho.
He's not a psycho. He's a good guy. But kids,
avant-garde, I think, is the better way of describing it.
It is actually quite a good movie. Directed by Larry Clark, written by Harmony Korine. Very good. Then some of his like later films, like Trash Humpers, where it's just guys humping trash. But like those are actually like sort of people he knew in his sort of neighborhood. So he made a movie out of it. But it's very avant-garde.
It's like if someone let someone doing a uni film project do movies. It's literally, that's his story. It's like the famous version of Matthew Winter. Someone said yes, and then all hell broke loose. And then this shit got greenlit.
I actually watched a full Vice video, like a documentary, like on his life and how he made his movies.
Yeah.
And it is actually quite interesting. Not the only thing of note, but one thing I would like to mention from it. So in the movie Kids, the main kid, I can't remember his name, he's like 15, 16, and his thing is taking virginities. He likes taking virginities of younger girls, so like 12, 13. It's quite fucked up. But he's like a sort of tall, lanky sort of bloke, not very attractive at all. And the producers are like, why is he an ugly kid? Like, it doesn't make sense. And Larry Clark, director of this movie, he said, well, the thing is, attractive guys don't have to chase pussy. Ugly kids do. And I was like, now that's filmmaking. You know what I'm saying? He's not wrong. Ugly people have to chase pussy. Not me though.
I get more worried about the filmmaker, man, and the casting. The people in charge of casting and the filmmaking, because I'm worried that they were once that character. If they're fucked enough to come up with these ideas, you don't have to think too hard to guess how these ideas came to fruition. I think they grew up in some pretty weird towns. You know, I've heard a town called Scone, and like I've heard a lot of weird shit, and a lot of weird, you know, movies like The Kids. But the real life version has happened in that town, and I heard of a guy living there that seemed like he was really interested in doing what they do.
I'm Sam. I live in Mount Martha.
April Fool.
I try to rizz girls up at the club, and then I just shit myself.
Not the Rizzler again.
Not the Rizzler.
Male Rizzler. I used to do that shit for like 3 months at the start of 2021. Probably going through a weird phase, questionable at best. We don't bring that shit up.
Oh.
Didn't I complain to you about my friend bringing that up to a bunch of people, and you've just gone and, except that was to people that were right there. This is on the internet, so that's
my
that's
mum's
better.
right here.
That's a bit better.
Say hello, mum.
Hey, mum. Marcus, honey. Got someone here to see you.
I'll give you a preview for the after show. I'm gonna sort of tell you the idea for the first scene of a movie about my life. Okay, on the after show, you subscribe, you can come listen to it. Sounds good? $5 a month. I wanted to bring up, and I don't know. Do you check your Instagram follows?
Yeah, well, I reload Instagram every now and then.
Did you get a follow from an account called Ghetto Ennui? So
to find out, aren't we?
So there's an account. There's an account on Twitter, called Ghetto Smosh, and it's just like takes Smosh clips and just makes like
most recent.
Yeah, there you go. Ghetto Smosh makes like funny things about Smosh, and it's like I don't know. Anyway, they made a Ghetto Ennui account. Can you tell me what the two posts are, and what the captions are, please, Sam?
Brooklyn, New York, 2-pack, do for love. And this is the same servo as that photo you sent me of the Pickle Rick
No,
ice cream,
different servo. That's a 7-Eleven. Actually, no, same servo. Correct. 7-Eleven. So it's me in front of my mate's car, cool looking car, doing a little pose with my On Me Limited shirt on.
God.
And the caption says...
Need a new whip because you bitches drive me crazy. You see, guys, this is what happens when you grow up in like a town like this. Like, you become...
No, look, somebody's...
I am the danger.
Somebody has made an account. I've got a fan account, so you know what? I'm taking it.
Who did
Do you actually think I did it myself? No, because...
Is it this Caleb guy that made this account?
Caleb, he was part of our original documentary.
The documentary.
So the picture,
on Caleb
the first picture
Templeman.
is Caleb Templeman, famous YouTuber. He's 18 now.
Many years ago was this film?
4 years ago. Me and Ben went to see him.
You look younger, a lot younger. Ben looks the same.
He does. We went to the Gong to see him. Went to the Gong, the Wollongong.
Wollongong.
Yeah.
How far away is Wollongong?
From me, like 4 hours.
Shit.
We stayed there overnight to hang out with a kid.
Why are you saying it like it was the weirdest
experience? Because when you look at
it
in retrospect, it is a bit weird. But you know what? Caleb is actually a really cool guy. We hung out around the shops, did some videos.
I've been wanting to talk about this on the podcast, this video you made, because this was meant to be your reply to Full Force by iDubbbz. That is my
first.
Opinion. No chance. There is no chance. You would have watched Full Force and been like,
no, we were going to do
Full
documentaries.
Force.
We want to do documentaries. We want to do documentaries.
This is 100% your version of Full Force. But anyway, that's all right. That's fine.
Is that your comment? You're ripping off iDubbbz?
Yeah, if you're going to rip off anyone, actually rip off iDubbbz. But, I think, look, I have my theories on plagiarism. Fucking hell.
Have you seen any of your videos? You're like the most basic Australian white commentary video maker.
They're pretty good, guys. My videos never get mentioned on this podcast.
Have you
go watch the most basic white Australian commentary?
Have you noticed that I never mentioned the term Sam's movies ever? You're purely...
You know what will happen? What? He'll be rewatching this podcast on his phone, and then Google will take that and put it in all as a recommend and be like, you said Sam's movies. Now we're going to recommend you this channel.
See, I'm a genius. I'm a marketing genius. And yes, your channel doesn't get recommended because I'm not sure if you actually know, but the algorithm actually spreads good content. So...
Oh, is that why it's friends on me?
No, we've been... I say the word fuck and everything gets demonetized. Mine's demonetization. Yes, yours is shitty content. Okay?
Yeah, nah, look, mate. I wasn't going to do this, but 3.5 million views.
I have a TikTok that has 300,000 views.
That's not bad. That's all right. We all know views are harder to get on YouTube than TikTok, but that's all right.
Correct.
That's okay.
Do you know what the video is?
That's enough dick sucking. What is the video? Is it something to do with kids?
Not what the fuck? No, it was a video where this guy's. It was like, do your own verse on this song, and the best one will get a free T-shirt. The one with the most likes.
Oh yeah.
And I go, my name is Matt, and I'm here to say I'm a huge supporter of the KKK. My video got the most likes out of all the fucking responses, and I didn't get my free shirt. Mason Dane, I'm calling you out. But I actually like commented on, like I tagged in the video and said, hey, like, where's my free shirt, bro? And he's like, no, you're being racist, cuz. Ha ha ha. Actually, he didn't say cuz. I think he's actually just a white bloke. I don't think he's actually like of Samoan descent. But
so he's clearly like set this up. That's the most popular one. He loves it. And then he's just like trying to find some stupid reason, obviously tongue-in-cheek joke to not send
it was
you
very
anything.
tongue-in-cheek. Like,
gee, Derv had better competitions back in the day.
Like, it would have been different if I did like the whole Hail Hitler thing and like shit like that or whatever. But that's not even funny.
Hi, PewDiePie.
The funny thing is, do you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make it funny. I think that just makes it cringe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. That's... Well, we have this... When we talking about this in recent, like, podcasts, like, racist jokes are typically not funny unless I make them. No, but I know what you mean, though. It's like there's clear, like, yeah,
you've got to, I don't know, there's one, they've got to be a joke, and two, it's like you can't just be like, oh yeah, I fucking hate this race in Minecraft. Like, that's not even like, have you heard about the whole thing where people like on Reddit and 4chan would go, oh, I'm going to go to Sam Davis's house and murder all his family with my fucking Glock, in brackets, in Minecraft. So then it's like, I don't mean it. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the joke. But then this guy, he didn't
Such
like
a weak joke.
I know, but he didn't like this like police. I think he was like the sheriff for one of the towns where this shit was going on in America. And this guy's like, I'm going to like fucking murder this bloke in Minecraft. Yeah, that doesn't stand. He got arrested for that. So if you ever want to...
typical America, just evasive action, just the police watching, they're like...
Correct.
And then FBI, open up!
Yeah, well, he did say it was... And you know what happened? You know what sort of bloke it'd be. It'd be like making those sort of like Reddit 4chan comments. The police go to the door. I've seen the dash cam footage. They go to the door. This woman opens the door and it's like, oh, is Cornelius there? And he goes, oh, I'll just get him. Cornelius.
Marcus, honey.
Marcus, honey, the police are here. And then it's this big, fat, neck-bearded bloke. He's like, oh, hey, guys, what's going on? It's like, you threatened to kill, like, the fucking sheriff. Like, what do you think?
The police walk in. Are you Tomb Raider 87? No.
No.
That must be another guy.
Well, it clearly says on your T-shirt, I'm Tomb Raider 87. Oh, yeah, my mom made me that. Good meme. Is that my funny meme of the day? Is that my unfunny joke of the day?
Yes.
New bit.
Hilarious and original.
So we both have a bad bit of the podcast. I get to make a weekly wrestling reference, and you get to mention you love Big Brother.
No, I don't love Big Brother. I love Friday Night Live, the show that was on Friday nights that had Big Brother in the title, and it was a Big Brother show.
That's too long of a name for a segment, if you ask me.
That's a perfect name. It has to be that every single week. My wrestling reference and hey guys, I love this show that was the same name as a show connected to it, but wasn't actually the show. Gee, that's a mouthful.
That's what she said. Okay, no. Okay.
That was probably the best 3 seconds in the history of Honor.
I think it was, in all honesty. But yeah, somebody made a Ghetto Ennui account, and I hope something funny actually gets posted on it.
I think we should post shout out to TAFE on. Shout
out to TAFE is the unfunniest joke you've ever made, and I actually pretty sure it was on an after show where Sam said,
no one can even
shout
see
out
it.
to TAFE. He shouted out like just TAFE in general. Don't understand the joke whatsoever.
See guys, all the best moments in the history of Ennui happen on the after show. So if you're not subscribed to Ennui Plus, then you'll miss everything. You don't want to be the person to miss out. That's you. That's what you sound like when you're doing an ad read. Every single time.
Anti-vax.
Even though there's a massive delay.
Did you say anti-vax? This is an anti-vax podcast. Do you know that's what I tell people in the streets? They go, oh, do you have a podcast? I'm like, yes, it's the #1 anti-vax podcast on the internet. And they stop talking to me.
And they actually... Oh.
It's good. People have said to me at work, I'm fucking smashing through cars, trying to get these cars out, all this shit. And people
smashing through cones.
People go, oh, I found your podcast, by the way. I haven't listened to it yet. And I go, yeah, it's an anti-vax podcast. Don't listen.
Isn't it weird when people say that? They talk about your YouTube channel or your podcast. This is what people used to do to me. Like, I've seen your YouTube channel, it's shit. And I'm like, oh, how so? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't actually watch any videos.
I've actually had like 2 people at work where I've had positive like feedback or responses. One was, oh, I like your podcast, ... I like that it's only like 45 minutes. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a good length though, isn't it? It is a good length.
Yeah, 45 minutes. I think it's, I think 35 minutes is a better length.
Disagree.
Because then everyone gets to go home early.
No, but if you think about it, 2 inches is enough. But the other one was it was a Marty's mailbag. Remember how I played Marty and I did a mailbag?
Yeah, I remember.
Pretty self-explanatory. But one of the jokes was I was eating pizza. It was like, I like my women like I like my pizza, hot and deliverable to my house. And I'm like, that's a good joke. That's pretty funny. Like a mail order bride. You know, my dad had a mate and he got a mail order bride and he didn't like us, so we sent it back and got a refund.
This is a serious thing that happened.
Serious.
This NRL group of mates. It just sounds like New South Wales. Just the story is enough.
Oh, I live in Victoria. Oh, AFL.
It reminds me of Alaska where they get so bored they order a mail order bride and Malcolm in the middle. They're stuck in Alaska in this little hut. And instead of a mail order bride that shows up, it's just an inflatable woman. They're like, here is your bride. They were like pranking him. And the guy that ordered the mail order bride is like 85 years old. It's like, it's time for me to finally settle down.
Malcolm Middle, a great show. I think what is it?
Full Middle Malcolmist.
Full Middle Alchemist.
Full Middle Malcolmist.
That's funny.
That's the name of it.
That's so funny. Bryan Cranston's really good in that. Like, you can tell that serious actors, because a lot of his thing is he just gets into the character. He doesn't tell jokes, really. Like, he just plays the characters so intensely, and it's like, yeah, this guy would play like a good drug lord. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the best scene is when he's like a bee. It's the showdown with him and the bee. It's like, and they've been fighting for days, and the bee's like constantly following him, and he's just like in his car. He's like, "This ends now." And the bee's just like on a sign, and he drives the car into the sign and destroys his car. And the cop's like, "Are you okay, man?" He's like, "Never been better." So over the top and stupid, but I love it. I love his acting.
I think his action is really good. Great actor. That's not a very insincere, but he's actually quite a good actor. Breaking Bad, best show of all time. Better Call Saul, haven't finished it yet. Have you seen it?
Guess that's the difference. My brother loves Better Call Saul.
What is with you and just mentioning your brother liking stuff, but not you? You're your own person.
Typical in my family. My brothers love the sorts of shit that I wouldn't even watch. Like, it's not. None of what they watch is my thing.
Go watch your fucking My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, then, mate.
Brainies.
But before we clock out, why so serious? Guess the movie.
The Dark Knight.
You weren't supposed to answer it seriously. You were supposed to go. I keep seeing that tweet by like several different accounts, and it's like, why so serious? Guess the movie, smiley face. It's like, shit meme.
It's always like the most stock standard movie quote. It's like, guess which movie this is from. No fucking shit. Forrest Gump. He wants to run fast. Like, I can run like the wind.
Life is like a box of chocolates. Guess the movie. I think it's tongue in cheek though. I'm pretty sure it's like definitely tongue in cheek. Because if it's not, cringe.
It's not.
No. For our listeners, we're gonna ask them questions on Spotify and in YouTube comments. My question is, Sam, can you actually ask a question? I've got no question.
When was your last burger?
No, that's not. It has to be related to the episode, and I don't want any burger references ever on this podcast ever again.
What's your favorite Full Middle Malcolmist episode? God damn it! Because I know what my favorite is.
My favorite one is where he sees is it the babysitter? Or is it the girl he likes and she's got boobs and he goes, That's basically what he
so
did.
are Frankie Muniz to a fucking T, man.
If I take the glasses off, I think I look like Frankie Muniz. Really, look.
You could play Malcolm in the Middle so easily.
Oh,
You
I'm
would just
Malcolm.
fit into that role straight away. Not with the glasses off. What do you look like with your glasses off? I'm trying to picture it. It was a kid from my school, and he was just so fucking weird.
Thanks for listening to the We Talk podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Winter. Buy a shirt if you want to. I'm not wearing it.
Co-host.
Do you actually know what shirt this is? This is Getting Away With It, which is the official shirt by Sam Hyde for his
You're
video.
kidding.
Yeah, it's actually I'll
How much merch do you
a
buy?
lot.
No, it's a cool
I'll
one.
show you that. I'll show you the back.
Don't take
No,
your
I'll show
shirt
you the
off on the
back. I'm
fucking.
showing the back.
Oh my god!
I'll show you the back. Look at the back. The design.
Dude.
The back's really cool. Look
Dude.
at the. Wait, let me just show you.
What have we got?
It's pretty cool.
And that is iDubbbz boxing Froggy Fresh in the ring.
I'm just gonna hold this here because I don't want people on the internet to see my body.
iDubbbz is getting knocked out.
Thanks for watching the On We Talk podcast. I'm your host, Matthew
I
Winter.
don't want people to see me horny.